Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. This time it's to Kaiso Talk, and it's always a pleasure to be here every Wednesday, 8:30. We talk in Kaiso, we talk in the thing, and of course, tonight we have a very special guest with us. We also expect one of our legendary female calypsonians from Grenada to join us, Lady Cheryl. So we're looking forward to having her on pretty soon. But tonight, hey, we have with us the man himself. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. You remember that one, all right? And so much more. Wet me down, appreciation, perseverance, lend me an ear, illusion, old man. And so much. I want it. Don't rub me. I had to kind of take a breath to continue. But nevertheless, the man Johnny King is with us tonight. Of course, Val is here as usual. And tonight we talking the talk. So we welcome all our viewers on GBN Television, our friends on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and of course you, our listeners on K105 FM. Also, special thanks to our sponsor, the Grenville Credit Union. We thank them very much for, being part of this program, associated with this program. We are very, very thankful for that. And hey, we're looking forward to chatting with you. We're going to also be engaging you. We'll open our telephone lines a little later on, so you can, of course, jump in, be part of all the action. All right. So, hey, it's a good time to welcome the guys. Val, good evening. How are you doing, man?
Good evening, Godfrey. Good evening, Grenada, GBN listeners, and everyone who is on the Windward side and listening. Good evening to another Kaiso Talk. Glad to be here.
Yes, indeed. And of course, the man himself, Uncle Johnny.
Yes, Godfrey, I want to say good afternoon or good night to the people of Grenada. Love you all, Grenada, always. Thank God for being alive. Hope to see you soon.
Definitely. Johnny, such a pleasure to have you on the program with us this evening to talk the talk. Johnny, I remember the last time we sat around a table. I don't know if you remembered. It was, the three of us together with Rio. And I bet all you can remember who the other person was.
And my boy from Jamaica, man.
Oh, gosh! That's right. It was indeed Lord Laro. Yes.
Subsequent to that, the next year I brought him to Trinidad. I personally brought him to Trinidad.
Yep.
I was not aware that he was a Trini, although he's singing with a Trinidad dialect. He's singing reggae.
Yeah. Well, Laro had a kind of thing, there was a nice mixture. I think Kaiso and reggae combined. Val, what is it? Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he migrated to Jamaica as part of the regiment, the West Indian Regiment, and he stayed there, and he represented Trinidad well,
Indeed.
So that he was able to blend that calypso and reggae and give us some really everlasting hits. Yeah?
Oh yeah, man. Definitely. I recall when we actually put out the ad that year and we announced Laro. People were like, Laro? Where you find Laro? It was just, he was just phenomenal, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, he was just great. But, Johnny, it's good to have you. And, of course, we chat in the chat tonight, the Kaiso talk. Johnny, tell us a little bit about how you got into this thing. Let's delve a little bit into your background. Who is Johnny King? So people know Johnny King, the Kaisonian, and all the great Kaisos. But let's just take a few minutes and discuss the man himself, Johnston King.
All right, it's really Johnson, eh?
Johnson King. Yeah, Johnson King, sorry. Yes.
I know you should know that. Well, when I grew up, was born and bred in Tobago. Grew up in Tobago, just like a real countryside in Grenada, like in Guave. As Guave is, not Guave, I mean, my favorite place in Carriacou.
Carriacou, right?
Grenada. So I grew up in Tobago. And I love music from the beginning, you know. But my favorite thing was pan. I love steel band more than Kaiso.
Right.
But I used to like Kaiso, like Carnival time as a child, as a elementary school child. I used to be listening. Now Tobago, we hardly had much radio and not. Don't talk about TV. So we used to listen to Kaiso on a transistor radio, like Carnival Sunday night. I listen to Sparrow and they singing.
That's right.
Demand for them and that kind of thing, you know. And I love that as well. But I came down to Trinidad into the police service in 1973, the 1st of January.
Right.
I came to the police service. And, you know, as I tell you, I was a pan man. I love pan. I used to play for T&T Society band that win in the small band category for the last 2 years in Belgarden.
Nice.
My faculty band school. And I went to Roxborough Sec. But I played pan all the while. I used to tune my own cups, the fruit juices, and the milk tin, the big milk tin.
Yeah.
And the medium tins, we to fashion that, adapt that to be a double second or a double guitar.
Right.
I used to do that myself, tune the pan myself.
Okay.
And we played for weddings, and I tell you, a school child, you know, elementary, secondary. But I used to play the big band for secondary period too. And I played that little band I had. We played in weddings and things in the village. And then graduated to what we call a second-hand conventional band.
Okay.
You understand? But I came in the police. I was playing, I joined the police band as well. I wasn't a police band man, really.
Okay.
I was regular police.
All right. Also, yeah, you're a regular police officer. Okay.
Yeah, but we used to get real time off to go play for the steel band. We call it a new steel band. And I played with them. But while I was there, I still have up my Kaiso. And they used to send us, give us time off to go and play.
Right.
While we there, when we go out to play, most of the fellas taking time off to go and shop in town. And they used to bother me too. I tried my hand at writing. As a matter of fact, I wrote my first song in 1979.
Yeah.
I didn't have any plans to sing. I had no plans at all to sing because my kids don't like me to say that.
Right.
I never felt I could have sing at all. You must be hearing me say that already, you know. But I decided to write a song. I wasn't writing for me either. I write something called let me see, I'm not remembering right now, I remember soon. You know, I write a folk song. And then the next year, I did Where Is the Love? That's 1980.
Right.
I did Where Is the Love? I wrote Where Is the Love? And the next song was Ash Wednesday Carnival. And I got replay. People accepted me.
Right.
You know?
Nice.
Although I think I couldn't sing, they accepted me. And later on in the year, well, I got transferred from my police work to the police band room temporarily for the carnival. Mr. Prospect facilitated that, and Mr. Burroughs was the commissioner of police at the time. And they transferred me, so I spent the carnival with the police band, and I did some performances in the square, Woodford Square, that they used to, police band used to start the carnival. They used to start the carnival up in Long Circular. Carnival used to be lunch there. Police band used to play that old mass and all that. And I went up dancing Ash Wednesday Carnival. And when people heard the music, they turned away from looking at the old mass and look at the band. So I had to say something was happening. But then we do some performance in the square. My performance was limited. But later in the year, about June, July in the year, I heard on the radio I was voted the most promising Calypsonian.
Yeah. Very interesting.
When I check now, I got $500 and a trophy.
Yeah.
And that was my springboard. That was my thing to continue.
And that was what year? That would have been what? 82, 81, 82? 81, okay.
You know, normally when somebody say that the song is a 1980 song, that song would have been released in 1979.
Right, yes, just before, definitely. Yeah.
Because Carnival is the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
You know, so when I tell you what Me Down is 1988, it was released in 1987.
Right.
Right. So it was actually 81 Carnival. And you know, I got and then to do the recording as well. I borrowed money. money I didn't have. I borrowed money from my auntie and my uncle and me
Right.
to do the recording, and they put the faith in me. Perhaps they like the pulse at the thing. Not necessarily my voice at the time, you know. And it cost me 18,000 something to do the 2 songs. 18,000 something at the time, right? I had to go to Barbados to make the mother. You know, you had to go Barbados to make the mother to do the print the
Right. Yeah.
the vinyl now. Yeah, or vinyl, or what people
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the carnival, I would try to make back the money to pay back people and all that.
Oh,
You know, so I
nice.
was wildly, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I jump in the gun now because might be asked that question. I was influenced by Shadow and Squanter.
Right.
They are my seniors. Them fellas my seniors. They're in the 70s. And we came in the 80s. And obviously I love Sparrow and Kitchen, and every time we used to listen to the transistor radio. You know, so many things to say.
Right. No. And we're gonna say all of them. That's why I didn't want you to go too fast, because I want you to. That's why I asked you what year it was. And then came 82. What happened in 82? 82, 83.
82, I did something called Hellfire. Hellfire. And yes, I did Hellfire and Coma Festival.
Right.
At Coma Festival was something where I fell in a coma, and you know, and I enjoyed the carnival same way down in the coma.
In the coma. Okay. I get you.
Yeah, and you Hellfire, and we say righteousness so very hard to find. Take a look in man's eyes. Only Hellfire. Man part for years. Selfishness all the time. Living is greed and lies. Only Hellfire. That's the chorus. You know, my kind of vibes, like serious vibes. Yeah.
But you know, and Val, I want you to jump in here, because I'm listening to Johnny, and you know, from looking back at the history, the records, and so of some of the calypsos throughout these years, Johnny practically came at a time where you found what I might refer to as a lot of uplifting and positive calypsos were coming out. Because that was around the same period with people like King Austin and Penguin and some of the other guys. Would you agree?
Well, I want to probably locate that question probably in Johnny's background. One, I think, Johnny, you say you come from Bell Garden, right?
Belgarden,
right. Right. And my knowledge of Tobago, you know, is very Protestant. You know, you have the Seventh-day Adventist Church, you have Methodist, and so on, a lot of that. And a lot of probably those songs like, you know, Hellfire and Appreciation and the one you just called there.
Where is the love?
Where is
the love? Kind of comes out of that very Protestant Methodist background. So tell me about that. What were you? What were you? A Seventh-day Adventist, Methodist, yeah.
Okay, you could say I was all of them because I was christened in the Catholic Church.
Uh-huh.
Right, so I was a Catholic, but I also was living. I lived in a road, a little narrow road, and under the road, our house here, and under the road is a Baptist church. So I used to be there doing my adoption and thing, and see them mourn people and thing, and right. I used to be there shouting and thing with them. So as a Baptist too. And as I was born in Belgarden, but I grew up in Glamorgan. That's the village.
Yeah.
So my daddy went up and collect my money and bring me down with a baby. I went to Belgarden school. Right?
Yeah.
And well, down in Glamorgan, it was predominantly Adventist. The majority of the population in Glamorgan is Adventist.
Right.
Things used to shut down on a Friday until Saturday night.
Right. Sunset to sunset.
Right. So I felt that when I heard some of those songs, I think I would locate them coming out of that background, that those things would have remained with you and kind of crystallized in.
It is also my love for humanity, my love for people, the kind of things I do, well, you wouldn't understand. All now.
Right.
You know, the kind of things I do, I don't want to even boast about that on this program. The kind of charity I do.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but I was also saying that even aside from that, and I do take that with Johnny, but even some of the other Calypsonians in that around that period, you got that kind of messages in song.
Right.
For example, it was around that time Stalin won with what was Caribbean Unity, thing like that.
79.
79, yes, Caribbean Man. Then you had the King Austin Progress. You had the Crusoe, Don't Cry Now, and Productivity. So you had that kind of lyrics coming out, which was highly positive. So that's I was wondering if there was anything, because a lot of times the environment can fuel a lot of different things. So I was trying to determine whether or not there was something happening in Trinidad at the time that sort of fueled that kind of lyrics, from the Calypsonians.
Well,
go ahead.
No, sorry, Johnny. One could always say that the probably social environment always throws up things,
right?
So that we came out of 70 and that kind of turbulence, and we're into the 80s, and it's something new. Eric William passed in 81, March of 81, so that all of those things would have impacted on people and how they saw the nation going forward. Yeah. And I guess for Calypsonians, Johnny, and all the rest, you would put all of that in and create sounds coming out of those kinds of situations. Right.
And even in the Caribbean too, things were happening, because 79 we had the revolution in Grenada. Around that same period, Dominica had a little something with Oliver Serafin and some of the guys. And all of that. So this was the base of the question. But going back to Johnny, you started in 79, but you moved very quick, because by 1984 you were in the Calypso Monarch final.
Yeah. Well, I actually started to sing in 1981. So I did the music in 1980, recorded it and released it. I started in 81, so it was 81, 82, 83 into the carnival. So it's like 3 years. That was phenomenal. But I trust me, I didn't focus my energies on that. I really give it a try. That's all. I didn't know it would come out like that. I never strive to be a Kaisonian per se. I just want to give it a try. When I did Wednesday Carnival, because I wrote Where Is the Love? That song was written for my cousin called Tobago Rio. I used to toast his background.
All right.
When I have off from work and thing, and he used to come to Trinidad and sing in some of the tents in Trinidad, and I used to toast his background. I wrote that song for him, but he didn't want it, because he could compose. He's a good composer.
Right.
Right.
Eventually used it, but I used it because I ended up doing this song Ash Wednesday Carnival. It's a song where I wake up Ash Wednesday morning and want to play mass all over again, and I get locked up. Ash Wednesday Carnival. Look for that, Godfrey, when you have a chance.
No, definitely. I
remember the song. I can't remember the lyrics.
That was well played. Steve and all wanted to play it.
Right.
And I guess that is song that, because I won as in the police band, and that is song that made me make them voted me the most promising Kaisonian for the year. Right.
Johnny, so when you started, I want you to getting into a tent is always a big thing for Calypsonians. Yeah. So tell us about your first getting into a tent and what that was about, and how you went through that selection process, things like that.
Well, here what happened, I come through the back door kind of way, because when I did the Calypso, I did the recording. I did the recording rather than trying to get into a tent, because that was not obtained in the police service at all. So Wellington, who no pass, he left the job to go and sing. Because he was wrong before me. You must be aware that King Wellington passed Godfrey.
Yes. I remember Wellington.
He was a police, but he left by the first policeman to really go to that extreme, I could say. Because I when I did a recording, I went and do it, and hope that I didn't get punished for it. I went and do the songs. because you have to get permission. Police Service Commission regulations demand that you get permission to
Right, to do,
things.
right. Uh-huh.
Right? I didn't apply for no permission. I did the songs, and I wasn't thinking about singing in the tent because I would have to get permission to sing in the tent as well. You know, and I just recorded the song, and the song played. You know, and while the song was playing, before the carnival finished, Mr. Burroughs called me. Well, you know, I could have found a lot of feces in my pants, you know, because I thought he called me to
that was a great Randy Burroughs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to the police headquarters, he said, you want to sing in the tent? This time carnival nearly finished. But he didn't have any authority to allow people. He could have recommended it. And Police Service Commission would have been the people who would sanction it.
Right.
And actually applied, but I got the permission to sing after the season was over.
After, okay.
Yeah, so, but still the next year now, I sing quietly without applying for permission.
Uh-huh.
I think the next year when I did Hellfire, and by first year I sing in the tent, and when I sing, people find my own brand, my vibes, my rhythm. Composer, brother, you know, composer brother, he was the musician.
Yeah, Michelle.
Yeah.
Boy, yeah.
He was the band leader in the tent now. And
Right.
he fall in love with my thing. I used to give 3-4 calls a night singing that.
Right. And what tent was that?
That was the CDC tent, Carnival Development Committee now.
Right.
What do you call them now? You know.
Well, it morphed into,
Yeah.
Kaiso House and so on. CDC.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Great.
right. At that time, I remember, well, even going back to much earlier years, there was issues with the with prices and so on. I remember Sparrow did make a little bacchanal about that and so on, and then he didn't compete. He went and he have his own show and all them kind of things. And the Queens was getting a lot. The prices were better for the Queens and so. And by 1984, Johnny, when you made it to the final for the first time, the first prize was what, 23,800. 23,800. I think it was Sissons Pains gave 15,000 and the CDC gave 8,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in Trinidad. 10,000 money. 10,000. And you know what, man? Everybody said I was the winner, right?
Well, hold on. Don't go there yet, because I want to take that competition thread by thread, because in 1984 that was your first appearance, right, in the final, yourself and All Rounder, and All Rounder sang Talking Baby and them kind of thing. But the cast that year, the finalists was a massive cast. You had Penguin, Johnny King, Blue Boy, All Rounder, Chuck Dust, Baron,
I think Duke too.
Explainer and Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the lineup. And Penguin won that year with Soft Man and Living in Jail. I remember listening to that on the same little radio that you spoke about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's if you can recall, let's talk a little bit about that competition. Going in there, you probably had what probably most considered the biggest calypso for that year.
Yeah.
Nature's Plan.
Yeah. Still the biggest for that year.
Yeah. So what happened? What happened? Let's talk about that competition.
Let me tell you what happened. You know, they have a way to say you had to pay your dues and all that. That's what happened. You have to pay your dues.
Right.
That happened to King Austin as well with Progress. You got to pay your dues. And sometimes too, you can't come there and knock down these big, but you just come out of the blues and knock down these people. You know, and you don't want to embarrass the CD.
But you knocked down Chuck Dust come fifth. And you came second.
They could be so glaring. They could be so bold-faced to just throw me out totally.
Super was in there as well. Super Blue was also. In fact, yes, Super Blue came third.
And here what happened with the assistance thing? Was that unknown? That the 1,500 that they donated, was to me. And you know who they give it to? Super. So it take me almost a year
So
to get that money. And when I go, they pushing me around because the people must be, they know Super's out there because Super and them was out there since the 70s before me. Always popular, you know. And I went after them to get that money because what happened, I donated that 1,500 to the other Guardian Leaders Fund, 100. I gave them 100. I give Lady Ochoy 400. I give the
Princess Elizabeth?
Lady Ochoy, you want to know on Arapita Avenue side on there?
Yeah, Princess Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave 400, and I give the blind 300, and 100 went to the Guardian Leaders Fund. So I promised them that. I didn't tell them that, but you know, every time I think Godfrey, you know, I don't want to boast about it, but we talking, so I just tell about it. And I get problems to get the money. When I ask for the manager, they come and they decide to pay me the money, and they duck out. They done with Tuco. That's the last time they sponsored Tuco.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's history. It took me almost a year to get that money.
Kaiso talk. Kaiso talk.
Quietly in my mind up. I profess to myself, I tell myself, look, I want to do this thing, you know. I want to do this thing for these people. And I finally got the money, and I gave it to them. So, you know.
Val, jump in here. 1984, Penguin.
1984. My memory of Johnny coming out with Natier's Plan and so on is Rocky McCollin. I know Rocky had hailed Johnny as probably one of the biggest thing to probably come on the scene back then, and he was very vocal about that. Johnny, tell me something about that. What is your relationship with?
Well, he called himself my second father.
All right.
You know, he was a Kaiso
writer,
historian, a Kaiso dictionary.
Yeah, you know, he wrote a lot for.
He was beginning his own Radio Trinidad. He used to be Radio Trinidad. You know, and he just fall in love with me. As a matter of fact, before I saying that, I did some competition with Hellfire and thing in the police competition. Police started back the competition. I did Hellfire. Right. You know, I think with the Paul, my rhythm now. My rhythm is really it's something special to me. My rhythm is a different rhythm. Just like Shadow has his own rhythm.
Yeah.
I tend to have my own rhythm. And people tend to love that too. So much so the rhythm just crowd them that they say, Johnny have a sweet voice, say, boy. But the rhythm, my voice come around. You understand?
Right.
So Rocky McCollin for me love me from that time. From that period. I had something called Stop Your Run. Trini, Stop Your Run from your culture. It is music in the sun. It's the soca. Disco, funk and rock. Don't belong here. Push your own thing and let it walk. Like Jamaica. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, I had that just before Natier's Plan.
Right.
Rocky was in love with my music. So we forged a nice relationship and that was it.
Right.
He loved
So
me.
you had that kind of clout coming from some senior thing. I mean, you worked a lot with, I know, Nat Hepburn back in the day. And the match.
Yes. Marriage recipe.
I don't want to take away anything from Rocky's presence. But the music is what really blew the people's mind, whether Rocky was there or not. I could tell you.
No, I'm not saying that your music wasn't there. I'm just saying that you just came on the scene and you had this authority.
Yeah.
The cloud from Rocky was when they banned me in with Natier's Plan. That Mr. Burroughs was suspended, and Mr. Jules Bernard is the acting commissioner, and he's in love with culture like Mr. Burroughs. So when the song became popular, they sent me a letter just before the tent opened. Same CDC. Right? They say if I go on stage, they're going to discipline me. So Rocky went to Parliament and complained to Mr. Chambers. He was in power at the time. And then they call on him and say, well, he said, well, you didn't apply, so I applied the next day. And they grant me permission. Yeah, also this guy was singing No Top, No Bottom from the police competition. When he used to write some good Kaiso. They say Chucky used to help him, but he used to write some nice Kaisos, more political. He used to sing against the police service. And he went on and fight up with them and things, so he never got to sing, but I comply, you know. And then subsequently, then now Kenny G and these fellas, they come, watchman ask me, well, Johnny, what do you do to get to sing? I tell them I apply, but I know mash up the stealing already, so they didn't bother with them. Them fellas just come around and sing.
Right, so you open doors, doors for a number of people.
Yeah, and I come, Kenny, watchman, you know, and they never really apply.
Okay.
Right.
It become acceptable. What's the thing? I think most of them military people, everything open up.
Right.
Right.
But what was the problem though? I mean, you're a police officer, and you sing in calypso. What was the real problem? Why is it that you needed permission to sing a calypso in any given year?
No, well, not just sing a calypso, do farming as well. To do anything for remuneration.
Also, okay.
Yeah.
So it was like another job kind of thing. You had to get permission.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
You know, and son, they might even allow you to do farming, but you have to apply and get permission. You know, it's a Police Service Commission regulations. I can't remember the actual regulation where you must get permission to participate in any kind of other business, you know, for remuneration. And that is the underlying thing for remuneration.
Right. Okay. Right. I got you. So Johnny, from it,
and plus to Godfrey, I feel too that, you know, that colonial thing too, you know, boy, that police is supposed to be that kind of way. But what actually happened with my presence, I brought a human face. So lots of the police they love upon me because police them days they will beat and arrest and thing, and then they had this thing in policeman there where people love upon the music. So the police service saw my clothes for the competition.
Okay.
They come and people come pull me out of my little apartment and say, where you want to color it as well. And tell them what style I want. We pants and thing with my little thing on the shoulder and thing, they show it for me.
Nice.
Rather than discipline me, they did it for me. So, you know, I brought some human face to the police. I could boast about that.
So Johnny, you were saying in essence that you were moving the police away from the police force to a police service.
The police service. Yeah, well, definitely.
I think they would have, when I went in, they were service already.
They were service already?
Yeah, but they still had...
You just improve it.
It was still force.
They still had the force image.
Yes, it still had force image.
So when I come in there now and we started singing with Kaiso and we play competition and think police competition and they reach the Savannah the competition. It's 1,000 of people, Val know about that. In the Savannah.
Right.
You know,
so the police, so the police had their own calypso competition after a while.
Yes.
Yeah, but some other regime come around and they lick it down because some of them old colonial people still in their old ways. You understand? Yeah, right. but the police are well calypso. You know, everybody's singing.
Right.
Johnny, I want to ask a question. I know. My friend have questions lining up for you, but it was touted around that period that you were also helping or writing some songs for Tambu. Clear up that. Is that true or not?
Right, the 3 road marches. Virtually every time they actually start the song, the thing in the studio, and then I had to fix it. Once I fix it, I'll be like again 50% for the one that they mapped me with when I win with the road match with Wet Me Down. You know they mapped me. Because in time was the road match, Wet Me Down road match. Everybody knew what went on, right? But that song beat me and I getting 50%. That was Charlie's Roots, Tambu, and myself. I get 50% copyright for that.
Right,
so
okay.
That helped me. And then the next one, free up, jump up. Again, they share it into 3. So I get him, watch me. I had a show with that one. And Tambu come and spend a whole day by me. I had a show with spectacular, and them don't make joke with time. And I had to drive on the pavement because I spent the whole day with him to put the song to a referendum to complete the song in the studio. Free up, jump up. They're getting 25 or 30% for that.
Right, okay.
But the next one, no, we're going to work on that too. But they give me this special thanks to Johnny King.
Right. Okay. Okay.
We're getting greedy.
Right. So you were definitely the writer on a number of
of some
songs.
of the, right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Did you write for anybody else around that period? Also.
I didn't write for many people, but I did a song for this girl, Karen Eccles, called Pull Them Square. Yeah, I recorded for an all.
All
My
right.
personal finance.
Okay. Okay.
So that's not she style. She like the Wapapua style now. When you have the bongs and things, she get on the bongs. You understand? The groove. If you notice my music, even though I'm singing serious songs, I like it to be groovy and you could dance, you could ignore the lyrics and all.
Right.
Because if you have a song, Godfrey, and the song, the lyrics will be as hard as nice as great as ever. The music is what carries the thing. And people will learn the song after the music pull them. The music had to pull them. The music. So when I write my songs, I focus on melody and rhythm. So after a time, the lyrics will get to you. You know? And
right.
So when I write in what I might get the idea for the song lyrically and some of the melody simultaneously. Or I'll drop the idea about the thing and just keep that theme in my mind and try to get a nice melody.
Right.
You know. Then I will. That's why my lyrics does fit so nicely into the melody, because I just kind of groove it. Because sometimes somebody say, "Look, I have a song. All they have is some lyrics."
Right.
Now, if you got to do a nice tune with that, you might lick up the song. The lyrics might be. The gist of the lyrics might just disappear because you got to take out some words and thing to right. So that's how my music just be so cohesive.
Right. Let's talk a little bit before we move on to 80, 85 and 86. Let's talk a little bit about Nature's Plan. Let's talk about that composition. I mean, one of the biggest Kaisos of all times. The inspiration behind Nature's Plan.
Well, it's in a life, you know, seeing things around me because the appreciation is same vibes and all the serious songs things because of the life we live and my love for people and love for life. And sometimes my own struggles, I be unconsciously my own vibes because life is not easy. But I was looking at a documentary where this wildlife man was out in the bush and observed some lions living together, nice and sweet. But when food gets scarce, it's strongly survive. And I take that now and adapt it to human survival or
human survival. Yes.
Right? And look, for instance, after I did that song, the next year Chucky come out, and Masha we play so much and they didn't like that, you know. And we go get to that with respect to how they doesn't like young people to come anything like young brother and them. We go to that later, right? But when I did that song the next year, Mr. Liverpool get there and did a song called Chinese Gunpowder to show that why singing is spit, right? You understand? Luther went out there and sing a song called Is Black Man Right Thing. But they didn't understand because they are professors, but I am a normal man. And they understand that I grew up in Tobago. And I used to go on the beach. We always in the beach, we go down roads, but we throw it in the sea that we thing. And some of we some from small fishes. Some we call it sprats and spirals and thing. Jumping like a plane and end up on the sand and dead. You know what I mean? They're running from big fishes.
Big fish. Yeah, destruction. Yeah.
Thing, as a police officer, or we used to go and poke crab, or we took poke crab, because we had to get your own little sighting, you know.
Right.
Own little thing to me, go carnival and thing. Set the crab trap and thing. And when you're under there, or even later as a police, we went on a 4 days thing with the army. I worked with them a couple of times. Or from Magna to Blancheshire, the two bushes and you know, from out here, look at the forest. You feel that you can't go there at all. Under them trees clean like a whistle.
Right.
Because them with big roots, no small plants can grow down there. You could carry furniture, you could drive down there, under them trees. When you look at it, you see the forest, you feel, can't go there, you can't think. Under the clean.
Destruction of the weak.
The big roots taking up all the evening, the shades, they're taking out the sunlight from them.
Right.
It's one of the week.
Excellent.
Johnny, with that song, I just wanted to, a little controversy that I remember. I remember the individual, I wouldn't call name, but they were very upset. I think it's probably the third verse.
Down in South Africa.
Nature make him a slave.
Well, I believe that we have nature allow it. That's where I'm coming from. And I wasn't telling any lies. But I'm saying, because look how long this man in jail, right? This man is not wrong. And something allow it to, maybe not God, I say nature. But you understand what I'm saying? So how you could have come for a lion is beating away children from food? It's nature. Maybe human nature. You understand?
Right.
So I don't know what the fuss was about, because them was over to what they say about this political thing I marched through in Black Power, because we bad for a purpose, but there was sometimes let's go too far. Because in South Africa, white men with gun power had the natives under subjection. The black majority, the white majority, the black majority lived in poverty, all because they're strong. They're strong, they ain't no gun.
Right.
They're strong, they don't have money. They're strong.
Right. They didn't have the resources.
Right, that's right.
Black man life is a thoroughfare. Nature make him a slave, that was it. They vex with that.
Right, yes.
South Africa is a nightmare for coloureds, from cradle to the grave. What's wrong with that? And was true.
But how you dealt with that kind of controversy?
I never worry about that, because you know,
never worry about it.
Because it's so important. If it's so important, they would ignore it.
Right.
I could have explained it. I think I explained it 1 or 2 interviews what I meant, because they sound like, you know, like them alone could write a song, but the songs are the right, them fellas can write it. I know, Professor.
Right.
Yeah, but listen to my lyrics. There's no perseverance makes it right. There's no you are the greatest. Give me thank you for being alive. Listen to
quite yes, quite all of them. So let me tell you what. Let's just take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna jump into 85 and then we go from there. So stay with us, folks. We're taking a short break and we're coming back. We're chatting with Johnny King, and of course Val is here with us. Kaiso Talk.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account, and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store, or call 442-8602, 459-4325, or 416-8467 for further information.
Have you heard about the new Softweed bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers products to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Softweave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Softweave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information. Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinaire Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Kaiso Talk, and we're chatting with the man Johnny King. And of course, he's performed in Grenada on numerous occasions. Of course, at Legends in Concert, he is home name there. Yeah, performed many times, 3-4 times. I can't recall. And I'm sure he will be again at some point. We're looking forward to that. Always giving the crowd satisfaction. Johnny, so 84 Nature's Plan, 85, so you played second in 84. 85, you came back, you won the final again. Appreciation, and I think one of your favorite songs, I might add, I want it. I want it. Johnny, let me ask you a question. Why is it you want all the time?
Because I explain some self-explanatory. Because I say a woman came up from Africa is a cultural officer, an official person come to Trinidad to feel out the music, to see how it could match up with the world's music. And when the Bugsy welcomed she at the airport, and she went mad, and she said, I want it, you want the culture, well, too rude.
You want Kaiso all the time?
I can't, no Kaiso, we culture, we pan everything.
How did that one fare in the road Maja there though?
Well, yeah, what happened? Now, that will explain what me down the road.
Right.
What happened? After the Nature's Plan, you know, I do a lot of performance in the village. The village is a big party. It was a big party place opposite the new hotel there. The village. Soka village.
Soka village. Yeah.
And you know what I sing? I had that song, you know what I sing? Was 2 radio stations with Radio Garden, Radio Trinidad. And they tell me, what stupidness you're talking about? I'm going to tell them, play the one thing now. And he said, nah, what stupidness? And you have a song like appreciation. You know, I go in and sing in the party, appreciation, place on the human mind. Party, you know. And that is after Carnival. I believe it's David Rhoda and Charlie's Roots who make that song popular. I believe so. Because they had it in their repertoire.
Okay, so
a few months after Carnival, people started to get called for parties all over Trinidad with the same song. Because the song didn't play at all. Because they had me in a corner with this philosophical thing.
Appreciation.
I'm skipping it, so they might get fed up. I mean, that's an imaginary thing, because after that, we can continue the conversation. We come to it.
Val, 85, you had another solid cast in the final. You had Singing Francine, Merchant, Penguin, Johnny, Blue Boy, Luther, Stalin, Gypsy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was solid. That year, Stalin had Wit Dirty and Ism Schism.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that year, long before the competition, they probably crowned Stalin. I mean, the whole of Trinidad.
Stalin was a master. Trust me.
But Johnny, you felt sixth that year. Coming from second, you felt sixth in 85 appreciation, and I want it.
Well, the judge's decision.
Well, of course. I mean,
I always accept that. Me don't fight up that because look, I'm still here. I don't fight up that. I would be sour and foolish to think that I was robbed. Nobody will rob. Is what the judges see on the night, where the people feel. The appreciation went down really good too. But then, when the people starting went down good, everybody went down good. So it was my luck. They might have called me and nobody can quarrel neither. But right. Nothing. I don't make no noise about that Godfrey.
Right.
People just be fussing and they want to see judges score and all that.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to relieve, kind of get your memory back, being on stage and. But how is the experience, Johnny? I mean, preparing for the March Gras, all right? Knowing that you are one of the 8 best Calypsonians, and you going there to vie for that coveted title of the Calypso Monarch for that year. What is the feeling going into the competition? Do you go there? Let's say, for example, in 85, hearing Stalin's with Dorothy and Ism Schism, and I'm sure you would be familiar with the talk around boys, Stalin bad, Stalin go win, and all of that, and you have to take in that and prepare yourself, because you ain't going there just because they pick you. It's a competition, so you go in there and you're gonna do what you have to do. And on the night, of course, if the judges favor you, then you come out victorious. But how is the feeling preparing for a night like that?
Let me be honest with you. Now, like anything else, you get a little mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Right. But beside that, when my music started to play, because we from the beginning, even singing before set up song, before I hit the stage, the music gone and I just go. I just strip. So I never really study if I win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just a competition, and I tell you, look, I'm still here. I'm still doing gigs. I was in Miami Carnival with Kess and them, doing a nice little show. I was the old school man inside. I did that Carnival gone. Again, thing from you, again, thing. So I never really, it's not that I don't want to win.
Right.
But, I feel like anybody up there deserves to win. And what the judges say, that is it. So I try not to focus on that. For instance, my girl who came second the last time, my advice was just forget about things, don't change up too much. I think the girl who sing Flowers.
All right.
Last year.
Yeah. Tiny.
She's in my tent. And
Tiny, yeah.
We pray and I tell she, I say, go there and just sing same thing you've been doing it and just do it. And what happen? She get them some trouble. But
right.
She go there study to win. It's good to study to win. Or if you study to the extent where you get frightened and you go forget your song and all kind of thing. Why you used to go there and just sing my song and glad to for small mercies that I did.
Yeah. Just to be part of that elite group.
Yeah. And what the result is, you just give it your best shot and accept the results. Right now you have people that go there, they're going to pay money to see the scores and they want to go to court and all them things. I never take it that seriously because I know it's just a competition and it's a contest where the judges see on the night, the majority of them at least, and you have to accept the results. So it never really discouraged me. And I come with better songs as going on the road.
Right.
Because they keep on turning out nice songs. Right now, Godfrey have a flash drive with, as I want to give since I was doing it last time with the Mother's Day thing. But I didn't see I have a flash
boy,
drive.
you see me and you give it to me and I have it. You forget.
Yes. You get it?
You
get it from?
You give me?
You come and check me?
Yes.
You brought it to Grenada. You brought it to Grenada.
Yes, you brought it. You brought it for me, Johnny. If I look at my bag now, I should have it in my bag right there. You bring the flash drive for me, Johnny King. You give me a nice little silver flash drive with Johnny King written on it. I had that. I have it.
As in silver, I couldn't make it out, man. Because you're red and blue and things.
You bring it for me. But Val,
Johnny, I just want to ask one question. As
yeah, well, I was actually bringing you in here, Val. So yeah, go ahead, and then I'll yeah.
You have created some memorable songs, memorable melodies. But what is your process? You talk about your pan playing days, all right? There have been calypsonians who like pretend they used to shake a matchbox and compose, and Duke probably used to beat table or whatever. What is Johnny process? He plays an instrument. How do you?
Well,
what is your process?
I could just barely play an instrument to just structure my thing, to get my chord structure. But I think to play, but you see other multitask with the police thing. It wasn't easy to reconcile policing and that thing, you know. But I hang in there. Didn't do like some people, like Posa, for instance, left his job, and I went on. But I hang in there. So it was difficult for me to do both things, you know, to reconcile it, you know. But I bite the bullet, I bite the reins, and I get through. And right now, if they want to give me no show in the Kaiso thing, good to go. So you see, perseverance makes it right there.
Of course.
I get through, right?
So you stayed on in the police service until you retired?
Yeah.
All right.
I left as a sergeant. I mean, I couldn't go further than that because if they're going to bump me from traveling, because my traveling was acceptable to them.
Right.
You understand? So sometimes, like when I wet me down, almost virtually every week, Los Angeles, Jamaica, all about. When I come back 4 o'clock in the morning, brother, they'll be corporal. That time I was acting corporal or something, or constable. You think this is so-and-so, police worker, go on the patrol. I reach from 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll go work 8 o'clock, go on patrol in the sun.
Oh my God.
I go through that.
So it was I mean, of course, it was difficult. But
you never felt like leaving?
No. But I grew up hard, you know. I grew up rough. When I say rough, I mean, I was at lower middle class family. But you know, Tobago, I think to it, but we didn't have it rosy. You understand? When everybody in Trinidad TV, these chances are radio, I tell you we have. When them have color TV, we now start to see a black and white. I one person in the village get it. So I go through, so me come down Trinidad for no joke thing.
Right.
Yes.
So wait. Let me ask you this quickly, Johnny. So you joined the police service where in Tobago or when you came down Trinidad?
No, well, I was selected in Tobago because they have a selection process. The barracks down here and they come to Tobago.
Right.
So I got from Tobago, but the same people who select in Trinidad, they come up to Tobago and do the selection.
Do the selection. Okay.
And I went through all the stages. I do the final interview and stuff, and I get through. They come by evening and tell me, get ready the 4th of January 1973. I had to go down in Trinidad. I go down the barracks. When they pull up in front by me, come, my mommy said I had a problem with them because that brother used to get trouble.
Yeah.
Not all banditry, but he used to fight and thing. No. So when they come and pull up, she thought the police come for me. And they asked me. They asked me she would get frightened. I said, I wonder what you do now.
Yeah, okay.
Get me cotton and get me polish and get me toothbrush and get me thing and so on. But when I went down to Trinidad now when I go down there, I went to a grip. You know, it's a grip.
Yeah, well, of course, I know it's a grip. I mean, you can't go grip.
And that was me. And the boat take about 24 hours to reach down.
So a boat you came down with?
Yeah, it's boat.
From Tobago to Trinidad?
You came down on the boat. You came down on the boat of paradise.
But it might be a older one than that.
but that's a long time.
More than 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, when I reach out the bags now with my grip, and that grip was my old man bank, you know. To save him money.
So
but there we are, and I wear my old man shirt. White shirt, no. You ought to dress up nice. A white shirt was nicer. I could, and the pants was a little bigger than me, so the belt wrapped around the hand, and the pants were full up, I think. Now he's on the bags now. I see men with briefcase, but with briefcase you call it? No,
Suitcase.
With suitcase and black jacket and thing, boy.
And you have your grip on your white shirt.
Me and my grip, boy.
What color pants here? Like khaki pants or black pants?
A black. You see, I short here, the foot too long and all kind of thing. And foot a kind of way. And the pants face from the thing. You think I can leave that and go back way?
It wasn't your father pants, right?
But my old man pants here, a little bigger than me.
So yeah. Well, you listen.
My old man pants and his shirt.
But you're the old man naked in Tobago and come down Trinidad.
He had that thing, but that was the dress pants, the church pants.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is right.
They try to laugh at me, but I say me and some of them, when they have really bags, they so, and we can't go out for 6 weeks. After about 2 or 3 weeks, they give you your first night pass.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start your weekend. And they're doing all kind of thing.
So when you hold on, let me ask you. When you got your night pass, I mean, what you did? Because you live in the barracks, right? You are living in the barracks.
Yeah. That's the procedure. The first 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of your freedom kind of thing. And even for the 6 months or 8 months or how long you go, you start to a lot of restrictions. There's do that over hard new, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some people can take it. Some of them will come with a suitcase and the thing. They bust it.
Yeah.
I stay. They tell you, jump in the dustbin. I say, me I'm going to dustbin. I used to be contact carousel, so I know my right to. But they can use something called high port. Got hold the rifle up in you, run and touch that thing. Run.
Serious training, yeah. Right.
If you are a little dust in the soul, they call it the welt. You know, by between the soul and the shoe.
Yeah.
If you have some of your well polished thing, you have to shine. If you dirty, you lost your night pass. So if you have a little dust, they were walking up the road. And they say, boy, you lost your night pass now. You get up in the morning and clean it up, and quarters, and go and run and come back, go on class, eat a little food, go on class. Boy. But they don't do that again, that's why the police so slack now. Those fellas take some fast food.
Yeah,
come out there.
Right.
And two go, one on the side, one on the. Because you go back to the Kaiso.
No.
You say
Is it?
You pass through enough hard times that nothing was stopping you. You wasn't giving up that at all.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Perseverance makes it right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we going, Johnny, we going to 86. And again, so 84, 85, 86, and you're there. You're on the hat trick. And that year you had one of my favorite Johnny King song, Pan Man Overs That. And Try. And they drop you back one position again. So they move you from 6 and they put you 7.
And if I tell you something, you remember my second father?
Mm-hmm.
He
Rocky
represented me on that occasion. Yes, well. That when he had to come in because I got through and they wanted to shift me out. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
He shift me out but he was aware that they're going on Tampa with the results and telling him not on the deathbed. And that was remaining the thing. Because that same time, the Kitchener is a man do fraternize young Kaiso and per se. You had to really come by. When I sing Try and Pan Man Overs That in Skinner Park, when I come off the stage, the Lord Kitchener come by me and say, it's a dark house in the race. That was my proudest moment, boy.
Mm-hmm.
With them same songs, you know. People was looking at me at all.
But you know, Val, it's interesting because we spoke Kitchener, and I have to mention that Kitchener seemed to have been, and from the conversation, Kitchener seemed to have been held on a pedestal. I remember Ember telling us the first time Kitchener shook his hand, he didn't want to wash his hand again. Now Johnny is telling us that when Kitchener told him that, I mean, that was the biggest thing for him. So Kitchener was highly regarded.
Of course, you have an era where Kitchener and Sparrow dominated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that any of those two bards would who tell you anything or give you any encouragement, you would
you make it.
Yeah, you know that you're good. Yeah, stamp of approval. You know, so that with Rocky giving him encouragement and Kitchener enforcing that,
and
that he was in a good place. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing too, you know, some people say, well, you high point, I think, what do you think most memorable? I gone in Kitchener Tail again because I was wireless operator in Arima police station, but I did at Kaiso, the thing with Alvin Daniel, Kaiso showcase.
Yes,
Right.
And then, you know, he will come at the home interview, and then he go in the studio. Well, that night I had to do my work. The same night, it coincide. I had to do my wireless operator. Well, I get a little time off, but when I come back now, I had to do the work because it's something where all the police reports from all the station districts, they have some called morning report. I had to copy them. We didn't have computer them time, you know. I had to copy them and maybe do 2 sets of copies, one for the superintendent and one for police headquarters. But I went out and I do the thing down there. And Kitchener see me, I was in the studio doing Perseverance. With Lester Paul. And Kitchener saw the thing, and I still perform the song on live with Alvin down there. It wasn't complete. I was still in the studio. But he had enough music, so I sing it. Next morning, about 10 o'clock, because, you know, I was supposed to go home at 8. But I got home because I missed some hours, so I had to do all the work. And while I was there, they tell me about 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:30, they say, Johnny King, Lord Kitchener outside the table. I said, no, Kitchener left it with me, boy. When I go on the man in jacket and tie with the PP, what you call it?
The PP 99. Yeah.
That's a car. Hold on, Johnny. Hold on. I can't only get away with that. I must jump in here. Why is this? I've heard about this before. This PP 99. What is that? That's supposed to be a car or something?
The Jaguar, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Jaguar. Okay.
The Jaguar, PP 99, yeah.
Okay. All right. That was the registration, 99. All right. Okay. Good.
And what made that man outside in his son, boy, waiting for me. But then I had to go back to the studio that same evening. So I tell him, well, look, I better go and continue the song with Lester Paul. Now, 10 season coming up, you know. You know something? When I go on by Lester, I meet Kitchener, they're waiting for me, you know. The evening, you know, that's the morning, the evening, you know.
Right.
In Mount Lambert.
Mount Lambert?
Yeah. There where Lester was at the time. He waiting for me again that same day, you know. And he tell me, you want me to come in the tent.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a real proud moment. You don't get that way.
That's spectacular, right? That was spectacular. That's it.
No,
Kitchener's review. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So yeah, Panman overs that and try. Let's talk a little bit about Panman overs that. What was happening with the still banned at that time? What is it that Panman overs?
It's just a little difference now. No big difference, because the song lyrics speak for itself. You know, you tell how dynamic steel pan is, and they get disregarded here. So the answer is no respect for Panman. Panman overs that. We ain't paying no pan for free. We ain't paying no free pan anymore. Panman sweat. Promoters pocket fat. More respect for Panman. Panman overs that. As the Gilban is so exciting, I wonder. You know, but say a teacher in Germany, as country in the country, that kind of thing, man. And Sweden, and that was the thing. Panman surviving better all day. And Panman, up now, Panman has been used. Whole time that a fella don't get no big ceremony in Carnival done. He did for the love, labor love.
Right.
How does Johnny come by his topics? Is it from reading, listening to people, driving around, conversation with friends? How does that happen for you?
It comes in many ways. Sometimes actual experience with people, like I have somebody call that song I make the other day. The last song I write recently called poor man champion.
Right.
That I really think everybody just come by me with, if I want a table like me, they can't sit down out of buy beers for everybody. If they don't come by me for money to borrow, they ain't give me back. It's that kind of way. And sometimes it's something you see, something that happened to you actually, just observing life and thing, you know. So it comes in many ways, many ways. Sometimes out of the blues, ideas just come to you and you grab onto it. Sometimes nice ideas come, and if you look onto it, I'm thinking it going to fade from you, and you can never come back in the same way.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so
but how do you preserve, let's say in that instance, how do you preserve a good idea? You might be in a place, let's say when you were doing your wireless and you're thinking an idea hit you. How do you imprison that idea?
Hold on to that, yeah, so that you don't lose it.
Don't lose it. How do you do that?
We come to that first line of melody that I get, and do some repetition in my mind. You know, repeat it in my mind, repeat it in my mind till it become. The more you do it now,
until you get stuck. Yeah.
You get on a dream because you try to prong it in your brain so much. You dream it sometimes and it come back to you, but sometimes it go forever. Nice.
Right. So Johnny, excuse me, and the years have rolled on. 84, 85, 86, and the years rolled on, and you, of course, some of the other great songs. Don't Rub Me, Wet Me Down, Perseverance, Lend Me an Air, Illusion, and you know.
Warmongers,
yes.
Wet Me Down was Brothers and Sisters. That was the same year. And Mudesa Chanka, he came before after I did the test plan, you know. He used to do a lot of producing. He used to produce lots of people, Chanka. And he came for me after Nature's Plan to come to New York to do the thing, but I didn't trust him. So I think he come back in 1987 after he come after me. I bring ticket this time.
Right.
You bring a ticket. I decided to go, but you know how me went down south. When he come by me with a man with a song, you know. I said, brother, let the man sing his song for himself, yes. Because I know where I had.
Right.
Yeah. And I could go into tell you exactly what I did Wet Me Down, what caused me to do Wet Me Down. The same thing about because I had a song between Nature's Plan and them and Wet Me Down that wasn't going down at all in the tent. You know, after 1986 with Palman Overs and Try. The next year I sing a nice song, I can't remember it right now, but it wasn't going on at all, right? But one night we went in Millington Car Park in South, it was spectacular. And when I sing it, the people dance and thing. I used to use man, I drop home. But you know, we like fight up in the country. I don't separate side only. Not separate, you know what I'm talking about. And I sing it, the people dance. So when I finish singing, boy, I jump in my car, I come up the highway. And I say, you know, Chinese like to party, but you're playing social. You start up one philosophy, you know, up to now you move off yet. You continue that, you regret. You got a lot of fans, but we getting fed up. The woman said to me, you got to mix it up because Carnival is jam a song, you know? And that's how the song come out.
Right.
Because they reject.
Right.
So you see how evil comment.
Right.
They reject. On the occasion, they reject me because they fed up at the mourn. Yes.
When
it's time to free me body, Carnival is in the air, don't sing me no sad song. You understand? Seriousness has make me guilty. For messages, I don't care, because my drink is bad. Whiskey and beer, be aware. If you know that kind of
Right.
Yeah,
when you sang Natier's Wet Me Down, and what other song? What is the other song you sang that year?
Warmongers.
You know, I just remember. Right, I just remember a conversation you were having with your good friend Crow, who said he saw, I think it was the semi-final, where you sing Wet Me Down and something, and they didn't, and they didn't include you. He said Johnny mash up the place.
Yeah.
And they did not include him in the final, you know? So that sometimes, you know,
and
if
father died at the same time, and I was running a place in town because I was so busy, I live in Valencia. And he come and check me and say, boy, you're the only man I defeated in the competition. I say, may when he first come. I say, boy, if father had passed, he wasn't buried there. I said, well, do that for your daddy. Let me tell you, Skinner Bar has never been mashed up like that. And I was begging them, don't do that, don't throw no water. Brother, they throw water, the place was mad. The place was real mad. Food, whiskey, rum, beer. When I sing in Superpowers are among us, wiping out life by degrees. The people in the crowd dancing and they saying, wet me down.
They wasn't even wet me down.
But then I say, oh, don't throw no water if you catch cold. Who tell me that? I see umbrella start to go up in the air. People run into the bar, collect their beer. But that place is...
They say Johnny mash up the place.
And still he couldn't make it.
Still didn't make it to the final.
Among us,
how you felt? Today. How you felt about that?
Let me tell you. I know how the thing does go. And my brother, my little brother, he was with me. Are we going on to other showing spectacle after this kind of park thing down in Jean Bay Complex? And we going on, he tell me where he started planning for Sunday night. You know? So I tell him, I say, boy, so if you see them pick me, or you want me to kill myself or what? Because I know how the thing does go. The next thing, by the time I reach down there, these background vocals on them, you know, the people intended to back up in the Kaiso shows that competition. They tell me, Johnny, don't mind them, don't take them on. I tell me, but I say, I tell you.
They get the news already.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. But the radio station carry on, Phil Simon and carry on for weeks about that. But I try to make that in bother me because, as I tell you, I never really, honestly, strive to become a Kaiso king. But you know, it'd be nice if I became one because, you know.
But of course, yes, definitely.
But the point is, you know, you need to go and stress myself out to be that. My name is Johnny King.
You're king already. You're king already, definitely. Guys, listen. You know that's the saddest part of the program for me because we practically out of time. I mean, we've been chatting. Half of the things I want to ask Johnny, I ain't asking me yet. Because but let me just throw it in quickly before we wrap, Johnny. So the years has rolled on. You still here. Your songs have remained relevant. Still mashing up shows. Still having people rocking. Still having people singing along, and we can count them. We didn't even speak about Darling, one of the biggest ones when you hit a show. You know, all of that. But we've seen a decline in the Kaiso tents over the years. Very quickly. What do you think is responsible for that?
Well, you know, long ago the Kaisonians used to be very subtle and thing in when the way they compose the thing, and they could be offensive without seem to be offensive without hurting anybody. But it became a thing where the Kaisos became a kind of political thing where people singing just for criticize one political group, and you know the people who used to fill up the tent was the people who these songs used to insult. You know, and the people who used to really do the best singing things against these people in a kind of nasty way, and then form their own alliance now, and they had to show them things. There are things that be more full than us. I see a little resurgence this year though, because from last year things started, because the youth started to come around, come into the thing, youths, and they come in with nice vibes like Young Brother and this boy Squeezy, and them coming in the thing, them so come in the thing, and that's a good thing for the art form,
right?
You know, and we had to come together amalgamate where they come together, we are join the youths. We have a tendency to push them away. And because of the younger people call me and tell me, hey, them thing is stupidness, boy. I say, only mad over. The first time I hear Squeezy, I say, well, this is a special. When I heard the young brother, man, I see him, we did a show together. And Kevin had a show. And I feel him and vibes. I say, hey, this man, real good. Even party song has a message in it. The youth time come around. If you listen to the music that they sing this year, it's where I used to call a syncopation. Or I think they call it F jam. Where you say, you could, any one of them song, you could sing the whole thing inside.
Right.
And they go on there and I like, you criticize them at all. Yeah, and they try to put a storyline in the song where they just say about the boom boom and the bumper and thing. They try to make a little story. Them songs where there are no deep-seated lyrics, no deep lyrics, but just make a little story, so. But rather than just hype, make a story so that people could remember for longevity.
Right.
But them and the song, the SOUND, better than us in our time. So we can learn from them, they can learn from us. We have to come together. And don't discourage them when they try the Kaiso, let them come through.
Right.
And if we have some advice to give, let me give them. And they will have things to teach us too. So that we have come together one, and the thing will be good. The youth go come along, come to the shows. The grandson was full this year. Long time they weren't able to do that. Full when I say full.
Yeah, you had better crowds than years gone by. It was better.
Last year was a little better still,
okay.
But this year better.
So yeah, okay.
We couldn't have the grandstand.
Right.
It was full this year. Full.
Right.
And plenty youths on board, they bringing on the youths, they're bringing them in the show. They're making old man say, well, look, them entitled to be in the thing. And so they tell me we pee and going to bed. I don't pee and going to bed already. I'm not anywhere.
All right. So that from my next little question before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Nelson is still singing at 93. Johnny, now you title yourself Uncle Johnny.
Right.
Johnny in his 70s. How long
you could say grandpa, because 73, you could say grandpa too.
All right. How long you intend to go?
Just don't say it in no bad way. Just say it in a
offensive way. Right. How long does Johnny intend to go? Nelson still performing at 93. How are you?
Nelson batting.
Cut off period, or you're just going until you can't do it no more?
As long as the Lord allow me to, I leave everything in his hands. And Godfrey, and people say me an achievement, but I get national award I didn't cater for.
Yeah, I know. Yes. I think you sent me the photos and everything. Yes, excellent. Yeah.
So plenty people can't get that,
I know.
I never asked them to quit,
So that is significant. That is significant. Yes.
Right,
yes.
So and that was one of the high points I'm making too. So that's all right, man. I love the music. I love people. I keep on doing charity. I love to do charity. Greedy, I love you. And I see all you coming and take $1 million and gone.
Johnny, let me tell you what. Just keep those millions coming and we go just come and collect them. Yeah?
You're the only unfortunate is about 400 and something, but that's good money too.
No, but of course. Don't forget, there are more Grenadians in Trinidad than in Grenada. So I think I have the right to say that we are entitled. We work hard.
We work hard. That's a good thing to show that Trinidad and Tobago all inclusive.
Of course.
Then the man from Governor.
Well, of course, definitely. Johnny.
You keep it a government,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, you could find the connection any and everywhere in Trinidad.
Yeah.
But Johnny, it was a real pleasure chatting with you. I mean, it's so much fun. It's just a joy. And I'm looking forward to chatting with a lot more of the guys. So thanks again. And we're looking forward to having you back in Grenada soon.
Whenever, man, you're welcome.
All right, definitely. Val, you're closing anything as we get ready to wrap it there?
So as I told you, I mean, I said we had Johnny, and I know that is one program. We couldn't have anybody else with Johnny really. If somebody else come on, so we got a chance to hear a number of things. I'm really impressed with your charity giving,
yes,
which started
indeed.
very early,
very early
in your life. and still continues. I didn't know that part, so it's really.
But that was a drop in the bucket. The charity that was petty. That was petty. I tell you, and maybe let me go there because I don't like to boast about it.
No. I don't know that a number of our teams, have that in their makeup to do on such a level.
Let me just drop this one in, Godfrey. Every year for 30 years. But I used to give to the homes and things, but I stopped doing that. You have poor people right around me here.
Right.
I just give people not the like what government does give. I give them a box of food and a bag with ham and every cheese and things. And they could get food for about 6 family of 6.
Right.
Each of them.
Lovely. Fantastic.
That's very good. That's very good, Johnny.
Both Christmas and New Year's.
Fantastic.
If me do that, I can enjoy Christmas.
I know.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Come on. It's nice, it's nice to hear that side of you.
Oh,
Very good to hear that
definitely.
side.
That better than the Kaiso.
Guys,
Very
look,
much so.
thank you all so very much. It was a pleasure again. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday, of course. We'll be chatting with more Kaisonians, talking the talk. So, guys, again, thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. It was fun. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Take care. Bye.
All the best. Yes, indeed. Hey.